What's going on, guys? We have another project that we're kicking off, and this is one we're going to be calling our Paradise Drive project, and you probably already saw that in the title. But anyways, we have a shower that we're going to be digging into. So this house, I believe, was built sometime in probably the early 70s, and then this is our shower right here. So we've got the frosted glass and our nice track. It's a tub shower combo, and say hello to the inspiration for today's shower remodel. The cast iron tub is rusting out right there around the overflow, so we will be taking that guy out. So we're going to be pulling this whole thing apart. We're going to make it more of just a walk-in shower. We're looking at doing a curb on this one, just with where we're having to move the drain to. We're going to put it in the center for this guy. So with the reason why we're not doing a curbless in this situation, or at least that's not the direction we're going right now, is I just want to make sure we've got enough fall. And so if we have a curb shower, it allows for a little bit more fall rather than in a curbless. So it will be lower, so we're not going to have the same amount of fall for the drain or the sewer line that's going out. So we're going to be putting a niche in the back wall right about here. And then we're going to have a new shower door, obviously, that sits on top of the curb, all that good stuff. We'll probably end up leaving the shower head location. That bar is right in the way. Roughly where it's at, we might go up just a tad. And usually we talk about our standard height is around 84 inches for the shower heads. And based on client preference, we're probably going to be leaving it right around there. So yeah, but we're going to get this whole place prepped. We're going to cover our vanity area. Hello. Because we're going to have a grinder cutting through the tub because it's cast iron, and we're going to cut a band out of the center to be able to yank it out either way and get it out to the trash. So we'll get the floor protection over here. We're going to do the standard. We've got ram board that will go down on the floor. We'll get the vent covered up, just an exhaust fan over there. And then I've got the zip wall poles that we'll probably just do like some 10 mil plastic across there for the day. And then we'll run it out to the front of the house. So yeah, that should be what we're looking at to get ourselves going. And then I'll try and show you guys an update here in a second. And we're back. We have our plastic, hopefully you can see that because I didn't flip my camera around correctly, on the wall. We have our blue tape on the vent. We just did our poles up to the ceiling. And we're not worried about sealing that part off necessarily, more keeping any of the shards from the tub from pitting into the cabinet or the mirror over there. We got our ram board down against the shower, and like we always say, we want to make sure that the ram board, which is the thicker of the floor protections, is going to be in the heaviest work area. So any tile that's spilling out over here. So we notch it around our corners to make sure everything's nice and tight. We have a piece in our walkway right there, and then we want it all the way out to the entrance down there. So we're not taping down all the way because we want to limit how much tape is on the floor, but we want to make sure there's plenty of tape at the doorways. That way there's no trip hazard for the homeowners as they're living here. And then we tape down the perimeter in here because one, trip hazard, but also on a smaller area especially, it can have a tendency to start rolling up. So now we're going to start pulling this guy apart. We'll take the door off, start removing the shower walls, and then get that drain. We'll saw cut over for the drain and then knock that out with the jackhammer. So we're going to get after it. I'm going to see if I can get a time lapse set up, but we'll see if it actually works or not. So whatever happens next, it'll be a surprise to both of us. See you in a second. And our time lapse worked, so we are off to the races pulling the doors out of the shower track. Now we're getting the screws out of the walls, out of the tub, and then cutting the silicone all the way around on the perimeter,
pop the stiles and rails out, remove the shower head. We're going to get the valve trim out of the way. And the reason why we're doing this is because we can leave the water off. We don't want to be creating a huge mess, but we'll keep on going. So we're popping the edge tiles with a hammer and pry bar, and usually I would go through with a hammer and pry bar and pull these whole showers apart. These are the old style plaster and lath, so you have drywall, a mud set, which is essentially like a concrete substance, and then you've got the tile. So we're going through knocking off all the tile first, and this is where I hadn't done this before. Don't know why I didn't think about it before, but we grabbed the little Bulldog demo hammer and started just popping those tiles off the wall, and it went a lot quicker. So got that all knocked out. Still have to use the hammer to bash out some of the areas where the tiles didn't really want to come off the wall and we were punching through on the mud set. So it was easiest just to remove the edge pieces with the hammer and pry bar, and then just really go to work and cartoonish style in our time lapse for all these tiles that are coming off the wall. So and then we're catching everything just in the tub. Tub's going to be destroyed anyway, so it's our nice kind of collector at the time being. Make sure everything we still have a walkway as we start to pull this apart. So I tried, you could kind of see right there, looking mostly at my back, but trying to pop the edge pieces off with the Bulldog, and it didn't work. So, but once we got the edge pieces off, then the rest of the tiles really started just coming apart. So tile was getting finished up, just getting it removed, and then we'll move on to the perimeter of the walls with the mud set. And for that, we're going to take the multi-tool and we'll go all the way around the perimeter, cutting it, because there's no real need to separate the mud set from the drywall, and it actually becomes a lot more difficult to even try it that way. I've done it before. So here comes our multi-tool, just cutting the perimeter, and you might notice that the drywall above the mud set has been beat up in a couple places. Doesn't matter, because we're going to be ripping that out, taking it all the way up to the ceiling. So usually there's chicken wire mesh in the corners that we got to cut, and you'll see me cut it here in a second with some snips, but that first one just was able to snap, which was nice. But this one had to go grab the 10 snips, and we've got some dead time right there in the video, but there we go. Cut it all away, and then we should be ready to get that all out to the trash. So got to change the music, make sure we stay happy and motivated, get that one out, come back for the next one, and then for the third one, since all of those guys were really heavy, decided to bash it in half with the hammer, get it all cut up with the snips. That I was glad that I thought ahead and threw those in the back pocket. And then got those guys out. Those were a little lighter than the first two, which was kind of nice, because I think I had a nice red mark on my arms for like 2 days after this. But got those out, and then we're going to move on to getting the stuff cleaned up out of the tub. And we're going to fast forward here in just a second, because no one really wants to just watch me clean. But get our walkway cleaned up, and then we started just getting the tile out, and then we're going to move on to cutting the tub. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can bash it with a hammer, or you can cut a section out of the middle. You might think Sledgehammers in the office, this is going to be obvious, but we opted for the grinder. And in this case, we're using our large saw with the metal cutting blade on it. So we're going to try and cut the middle third out of this tub so that it's easier to get it through the doorways. It's lighter, and when you've got one guy just tearing this apart, it's best to do it that way. One of the funny things that I figured out with this is that the concrete saw, like with the metal blade on it, was good, but the grinder with a cutoff wheel on it seemed to still go faster. And my guess with that is because the metal cutoff wheel is a little thinner, so we were able to get it all the way through. But go through, cut the middle third, and then on this, I wasn't able to get the grinder all the way to the ground, and you'll see that here in just a second. So we end up going across right there to get that midsection out so that we can pull it apart. We'll pop the drain off and then fold it in on itself to remove the other pieces. But there goes the midsection. That'll go out to the trash, a lot lighter. they've got foam underneath the tub. Usually there's 3 ways to do it. You can put foam underneath the tub. Some people will do sand, and some people will do mortar. So they did foam. Makes sense as far as for this development that they were doing a ton of them back in the 70s. So broke out the drain. It was really stuck. Didn't want to come out, so kind of used the grinder to, I wanted to say ground it up, but that's not right. Um, grind it up, get it out of there. So pulled that all apart. We've got some cleanup. That's why things just magically disappear. And then we move into jackhammering. And then we're just going to work from where the drain was to open up the new pathway for that drain that we're going to move for the shower. And then in just a second, I'll go through and walk you guys through what happened afterwards, because I get this all cleaned up and out of there. I dig it all out, and then you'll be looking at it here in just a second. So yeah, that was what we did for demo.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today for demo on day 1. We still have some nails to pull and then some of this drywall to clean up. It's been cut, but we'll take care of that later. So everything down here, we've got the hot water side that was running through, so I'm really glad I did not destroy that with the jackhammer. But everything's opened up, dug out. We'll leave our dirt over there. This is just kind of being stored here. We'll pull it out of the way for the plumber when he starts working. But he might have to move the water line a little bit and then just swing that drain over to center, roughly where that is right there. Sorry for shaking you so much. We've got nails, I think I already mentioned, we'll pull those. Right now it's Saturday, plumber's coming in Monday, and then I'll be in Tuesday to do the niche. We had originally planned on doing it in this back wall, but where the electrical's landing right there, I'm not really going to be able to create a nice header across that I want, so we'll probably end up putting it in this wall right here because it'll be easier to create a header for that space, and so clients weren't too picky about it either. So that should be it for the most part. We've got some odds and ends that we'll take care of on Tuesday, get the fill back done in prep for tile guys to be setting their stuff on Wednesday. So yeah, that should be it for now. I'm pretty sure we're just gonna make this one video and then we'll have 1 or 2 more after this. So yeah, if you know anyone who's looking to get their bathroom remodeled or kitchen redone in Arizona, please feel free to let them know that we're happy to take on their project. So until next time, hope you do good work, drink a lot of chocolate milk. See ya.